Dear judgy person on Facebook, I hope that you never have to learn about addiction the way that I did. Hi, my name is Erik. I am a advocate for addiction. I myself was and am an alcoholic. I've been sober about 3.5 years, and I get these judgmental people on Facebook all the time. Addiction's a choice. It's not a disease. And they get downright nasty, really, really nasty with people. And I really hope that you, judgy Facebook person, don't have to learn about addiction the way that I did. I was caught in the throes of addiction for 15 years, and it took a lot of hurt, pain, suffering for myself, my family, my children, everything that I loved, I lost. It took a lot of pain to get out of that prison. So I'm going to tell you a story. I get this all the time on Facebook. A personal friend of mine posted something on Facebook, something to the tune of, addiction's a choice. You chose to put that needle in your arm, or you chose to drink that bottle, whatever, blah, 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 right? So this particular person didn't know my background. They had no idea who I was. I mean, they knew me. It was a friend of mine, but, they didn't know that I was celebrating 3.5 years of sobriety after living a prison for 15 years. It's not something that at the time that I was broadcasting. So, fast forward, person posts judgy kind of thing on Facebook, and so of course I comment it. Like I said, I'm a social advocate. I like to see where people are coming from when they have these snap decisions and snap judgments. And so this person basically proceeds to tell me that I have no idea what I'm talking about, which I find very interesting, seeing that that person doesn't know really who I am. I mean, like I said, we're friends, but you don't know me from... You don't know my personal life. We haven't been in touch on a daily basis in a long time. So after many insults hurled my way simply because I have a different opinion, I decided to tell this person my story. I go on to tell about my 15-year battle with alcohol and all the different things. And mind you, this is a Facebook post, so things are getting hurled back and forth, and you're trying to convey some kind of point to somebody when they're really upset. So obviously I probably should have just stopped there, but for whatever reason this particular person kind of got my goat that day. So after I tell her my story, my personal story, this woman continues to insult me. So I know something is up at this point. I know that this isn't just typical lashing out or whatever. So there's something a little bit deeper in here, right? So after, a bunch of insults hurled at my way and me trying to convey some facts and figures to try to explain to her, some legitimate facts, not just emotion, she goes in to tell me a truly devastating story about one of her really, really good friends that just has been devastated with addiction. And herein lies what happened. So, person gets upset because it finally hit home for them. It wasn't that they truly hold that opinion. It's they haven't did the research. They haven't understood the disease. They're upset and they're going through the grief stages, and they lash out, and that's completely and 100% understandable. And like I said, I deal with this all the time, so I know that she's going through something. And being an outspoken advocate for addiction and alcoholism, at that point I can start to make progress with somebody. It's no longer just hurling insults and throwing facts and flaming each other on Facebook. Now we can actually get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is people are hurting and they don't know how to express it, and they're uneducated about what's really going on with addiction. So that's why I have been so open about my story in the addiction community, in the alcoholism community. It's still very taboo to be so open and honest and express your story and really try to help people. It's very hush-hush. You're dealing with a medical condition and you're just trying to go on with your life and not drink or not use. And I'm personally way past that now. Not that I can never go back to that, but right now I want to help as many people as I possibly can. I don't want to see families hurt and suffer and go through what me and my family went through while dealing with addiction. There's plenty of great resources out there to get help, to get the information that you need. If you were somebody that's dealing with addiction, the first thing that you absolutely need to do is realize that you have a problem. Obviously, if you're looking for videos about addiction, then you probably have an idea that you have a problem. If you're watching this video, you probably know that you have a problem and don't know what to do. So, if you have a problem, the first step is admitting that you have a problem. And then you gotta go get help. You gotta get into a meeting, you gotta go to AA, you gotta go to NA. I suggest first and foremost that you go to rehab, especially if you are a long-time abuser. You need to detox in a safe environment. If you don't do that, dangerous things could happen, especially with certain types of benzos and alcohol. That can be fatal to withdrawal, not in a safe environment. So don't think for 1 second that you can just do this yourself, lock yourself into a room for 3 days and be rid of it. That's not going to help you. Second thing, after you get some kind of information, make a plan. Am I going to rehab? Am I going to meetings? You got to do something. If you are not somebody that's dealing with addiction, you yourself do not have an addiction problem, look at the other person and understand where they're coming from. Obviously, they chose to take that first hit or that first drink. But once you understand how addiction works, you'll understand that that was probably the last choice that they really legitimately made. Every choice after that wasn't really a choice for them. I know, speaking from experience, so you cannot be so judgmental for it. It's not going to help them anyways. Calling somebody a junkie or an alkie or an alcoholic or a loser, that's not going to help them. And it's not going to help you. It might make you feel better in the short term. Get educated. Understand things. Don't shout things on Facebook that you don't know what you're talking about. And even if you do know what you're talking about, which I highly doubt you do, why would you have so much negativity towards somebody trying to deal with addiction? Or why would you have so much negativity towards people that have a problem to begin with, even if it was self-created? So I'll give you a scenario. People that have diabetes, most of the time they have diabetes, it's because of their own personal diet. We don't consider these people losers or whatever. We consider these people with a medical condition. Every time I bring this up, you always get blowback, but there are certain forms of cancer that are self-inflicted, lung cancer being one of them, from smoking. Again, certain types of things that you do, or tanning, for instance. If you tan a lot, you could get cancer from that. We don't consider cancer anything but a medical condition that's very serious and could never be really self-inflicted, but the reality is it is. And I hope the best for everybody that's in those kind of situations, just the same as I hope the best for everybody that's dealing with addiction. So try not to be so judgmental, and try to broaden your horizons and understand, and really try to reach out and learn something about addiction rather than go onto social media, blast whatever you want, and then go about your day, because you really could possibly hurt somebody deeply, and somebody that you probably didn't intend to hurt. So again, I'm Erik, social advocate for addiction. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. If you want to get a hold of me, you can hit me on Facebook, links below, all that kind of cool jazz. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video.